Have you ever got off a sales call or finished a sales appointment and you didn't make the sale? And you walked out of that person's home, or you got off the phone and you realized, you know what, that sale was mine. Like, I messed up that sales appointment. I've certainly know it's happened to me before, and I certainly know a lot of people that's happened to as well. And what I found over the years is there's three key reasons that salespeople don't convert and close as many sales as they should. And here's the thing, is if someone's calling you to inquire about your services or to get a proposal or to get a quote or have a chat, they're in business. They're wanting to do business with somebody. It's just whether or not they're going to pick you over your competitors. And a common thing that's been shared is that people don't enjoy being sold to. And I completely disagree with that. People love being sold to. People just don't like poor sales skills and salespeople. Hey, Barry Melody, CEO and founder of the Game Changers, and we help businesses that aren't growing fast enough. Today I want to share with you the three key reasons that salespeople don't convert as high as they possibly can. I had a conversation a few months ago now with a mentor of mine, and she's a woman that's done a lot of mentoring in the coaching space with other coaching companies. And we had a chat, and she wanted to know what numbers we were doing. So I shared with her, how many leads we're generating, how many sales calls we're having, the conversion rates, average sales, lifetime value, all that sort of stuff. And she was blown away and couldn't believe the rate in which we would convert sales, cold sales on a phone into a member of our thriving community Opulence. And what she shared is that the typical run rate for our industry is 20 to 30%. She said if people can convert 20 to 30% of all people they speak to into a coaching program, they're happy as Larry. And the reality is that we convert 3 times that into our program with the same people in the marketplace. And although marketing does have an impact to how well you convert, back when we were hitting these rates in the beginning, we weren't marketing. We weren't doing anything ongoingly to warm up our prospects. We were just very good at diving into understanding people, understanding their problems, understanding where they're at. And, if I'd have been told when I first went into this business that, 20 to 30% is a good run rate, how do you think that would have affected my mindset? Because, the beautiful thing is that I never had a perception of what was possible, what was not possible. So I just assumed that my results were bad and kept on perfecting my skill set until I got them to a level where I thought, well, that's pretty acceptable. And you look at the story about the guy that broke the 4-minute mile. For years, no one had ever broken the 4-minute mile. And this guy ran, he busted the 4-minute mile. And then within 6 months, there was a half a dozen people that had ran the same 4-minute mile and better. And what had changed is belief. And so the first key thing that I think, or not that I think, that I know messes most salespeople up is belief. And it can be conscious or unconscious. It could be a poor belief in the product or service they're selling. I've always said that I could sell anything providing that I believe in it. If I don't believe in something, I find it very hard to show up congruently, impossible to show up congruently and sell. And I think that even salespeople that believe they can sell something they don't believe in, energetically and unconsciously, their prospect feels that. Their prospect feels the lack of belief in the product. So I think that number one is, as a salesperson, you have to believe 100% in your product and service. And if I believe 100% that our coaching program would deliver results to a prospect I'm speaking to, I'll go to any ends to make sure that they understand that and to make sure that they come on board to get the results that they deserve. So number one is to have belief in the product and service that you're going to sell. Number two is along the similar lines, and it's belief in yourself. Belief in yourself that there's no limitation to the amount that you can earn or the amount that you can sell. I've often found that salespeople and business owners have a comfortable level in which they can earn income. And whenever their system gets close to that comfortable level, you start to notice their sales conversion changes. And so the one thing that I've learned over time is that a business will never outgrow the business owner. So therefore, if you want your business to keep growing, if you want your sales to keep growing and evolving, you as a salesperson, you as a business owner needs to keep evolving and growing. Like, don't ever feel that your sales process, or don't ever feel that the way that you sell your product or service is the shit. Because the moment that you think that, you'll shut yourself off from learning new ways of doing things. And if you take sales, for example, it's very different these days than what it was years ago. Like, you look at the way that car salesmen used to sell years ago, you look at the way that people used to sell years ago, it's very different to now. And part of that is the way that the market's changed. There's never been a time like now where there is so much opportunity and variety out there. It's like, you know, look at the amount of people that are offering lead generation and marketing services out there. It's a price war, and I think that you can get caught up in being a commodities-based marketplace where you compete on price purely because you're not valuing yourself as a business owner and what you're going out for. And so, you know, number two is really about making sure that you're constantly open to evolving your skill set as a salesperson, going out there, learning the way people do things. You know, when you're being sold to, feel what you enjoy about the sales process versus what you don't, and ask yourself, how can I adopt this into my process? How can I put this into what I do as well? And the third one is just simply feedback. You know, when I had my kitchen and bathroom business many years ago, the one thing, like looking back now, I did a lot of things right and I did a hell of a lot of things wrong. And one of the things that I did right was that whenever I didn't win a job, I would always go back to that client and interview them to ask them why, to find out why. And believe it or not, they were very open to sharing with me why they chose not to go with me. And I didn't simply stop at, oh, the other guy was cheaper. You know, I had a series of questions that I'd go through and ask them that actually deal with the real reason, because what I found is that people will often say price. Oh, I went with this person because of price. And what I've also found is that most of the time, 99% of the time, that's BS. And it's BS because people share that because they believe that you'll buy into it. And most people do buy into it. It's like staff never leave because they're offered more money at another organization. Staff leave because they're not being looked after right. If you look after your staff right, it's a higher risk for them to leave for money, not be looked after right, than it is for them to stay. And so really what they're saying is that they didn't trust you, didn't trust that you could deliver the service or the product to them in an efficient and effective way. They didn't believe you, all right? They didn't trust you could, they didn't believe you, nor do they value. Like you failed to articulate the value and the positioning of what you're able to offer these clients. So that's the top 3 tips. They're a little bit esoteric and probably outside the norm of what people teach around sales, but very much if you spend some time playing in that space, I guarantee your sales conversions will go up. And if you are looking to increase your sales conversions to 70, 80, 90%, I'd love you to reach out. We have a very proven process that we teach all of our members that we've seen get incredible results time and time again. Click on the link below, book in a 15-minute scale session with one of the team. We can find out where you're currently at in your sales journey, your business journey, where it is you want to go, where the gaps are between now, here, and there, and whether or not the Game Changers, the Opulence program, would be the best fit to help you to get there. Why we do these sessions for free is quite simple, because we know that there's a percentage of people that will take on board this plan, will go out there in the world, implement their own, fantastic, their business is growing, awesome. There's also a percentage of people that will be like, you know what, it's just more effective and cheaper for me in the long run to hire you guys to assist me to do it, and we'll join together and work together for the future to come. So if you're someone who's wanting to take your sales to the next level, your business to the next level, please click below, reach out. One of the team will be more than happy to have a chat to you and see if we can help you or not. My name's Barry Magadidi. Thank you for watching. Look forward to seeing you next one. Bye for now.